boys and we're doing fine, so pour me another. We got
That's right, we're good old boys and barroom buddies. These are stories about Charlie and me. You know who I am. And all the stuff we did in the past. Some of them are true, some of them ain't. But if they ain't, they ought to be. Because if I'm lying, I'm dying. Thanks for watching. Well, it's that time again. It's time for another rendition of If I'm Lying, I'm Dying. And this is the first one I'm actually going to post on TikTok. So some of y'all that already know about this series, I'm going to explain a little bit for those new people here on TikTok if they see me or not. So these stories are about me and my running buddy Charlie. We did some amateur rodeos, we got into some bar fights, we did a lot of old-fashioned cowboy stuff and some stupid stuff. So here goes. First of all, I always start off with a sip of beer. So, like I was saying, me and Charlie were, everybody say it. Okay, when I say that, you're supposed to say, at a bar. Because normally, all these stories start out that way. Don't ask me why, but they do. So I'm going to start over. So me and Charlie were at this bar, and we were just having a rip-roaring time. We were getting a little loud and rambunctious, and, you know, I guess people were complaining, you know, but that's how us old cowboys used to be. We used to be loud. We'd be polite, but we'd be loud. So I guess these people were complaining, and the old bouncer came up to us and said, hey, y'all are a little bit too loud. Y'all got to calm down a little bit. And Charlie says, we're just having fun. Well, that old bouncer looked at me. He says, I know y'all are having fun. He looked over at Charlie. He said, but people are complaining that y'all are getting a little too loud. Charlie said, well, hell, we ain't loud yet. But all right, we'll calm it down. So we had a couple more beers and commenced to drinking some more. And, well, we got a little bit louder, not knowing that we did. But anyway, this old bouncer came back and said, look, I told y'all already, and they're complaining. So I'm going to give y'all the 5 for y'all to calm down. Charlie gave me this look like he always does, and I was like, oh shit, here we go again. Charlie put on that shit-eating grin of his and looked at that bouncer and says, well, son, maybe you ought to count to 3, because I don't imagine you can count that high. Boy, that bouncer turned beet red, looked over at his bouncer buddies and called them over, grabbed us. And of course, we weren't the kind to go out politely. So we grabbed our beers. We said, hold a second, boys. We took a drink. And by the time I could put mine down, old Charlie busted his beer bottle over that bouncer, and then all hell broke loose. Well, needless to say, you know, cowboys always win their fights. But that's bullshit. That was one hell of a beating we took. We went back the next day, bought that bouncer a drink, because he was off and he was just sitting at the bar, and he said, you boys are just crazy. And we're like, yep, that's the name of the game, Bubba. That's the name of the game. Anyway, if that ain't a true story, it ought to be. Because if I'm lying, I'm dying. Till next time, guys. Adios.
Now after all we've done, it's a wonder we're friends. But old pal,